Hey guys, this is James Mitchell. I know I'm being a little shaky with my camera. I'm headed to the local prison, not the local jail, but the local prison. I say local because it's in the same county that I live in, so it's local to me. But I'm headed to the prison right now to do prison ministry and preach. Just got me to thinking about Joseph in the book of Genesis. And Joseph had this dream that God had given him. A couple of dreams, actually. And what it got me thinking about is these men that I'm about to be in the same room with, preaching to, have been at the lowest point of their life. I mean, they're at the bottom of the bottom. They're in prison. Most of them spend hours a day with a lot on their mind. They have time to think. And so you're at a low of your low. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. But what this got me thinking about was Joseph. And Joseph finding himself with that dream, thrown into a pit, and then from the pit he was sold into slavery by his own loving brothers. Very loving, I should say. That was a little sarcastic, if you didn't get what I meant. But he went to Potiphar's house at such a young age. He was something like 17 years old. Okay, so this was a young man. And he goes to Potiphar's house. And in that process, we find Potiphar's wife doing what she did, and he's thrown into prison. In this prison, he becomes a trustee. These men here are in prison. They're at the lowest of their lows, and they have so much time to think. Joseph had time to think. He could have let the devil get to him and mess up his thinking, but instead he didn't. He kept his integrity, he kept his faith, he kept his belief in that dream, and God allowed him to interpret a dream for Pharaoh one day. But see, here's the trick to that. It had to be the fact that he wasn't just in any prison or any jail or any cell, but he was in the king or the Pharaoh's prison. That was a special prison. And if he had not have been placed in Pharaoh's prison, and he would have been placed in just some common prison, then all of a sudden you have the fact that he never would have been in the place to interpret the dream. And he never would have been at the place. But God knows what you're going through. He knows where you're at. He knows what the thoughts that you think as they're afar off, as the scripture says. But the thing is God has a place for you. And what you're going through, there's a purpose and there's a reason for it. Just as Joseph had to go into Pharaoh's prison, sometimes you got to go through the lowest of the lows. And these men tonight, they're in prison, but if they will get their thinking right, God can make something great out of this time in their life. And I believe if we allow it, God can make something great out of every low point and every struggle and every pain that we have. But we must allow it and realize that we're not just in any situation, but we're in the king's situation. We're in the king's prison. We're in the king's place that he's placed us. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. The first and the last, the beginning and the end. And that's what he is. And he has you on his mind. And he knows what he's doing with you. So keep your faith in him, people. And trust in God to take you every step of the way.